Here we are, Pit Chatter Podcast, episode 50 something or another, 58, 59, 60. I don't know. Why do I never look that up? I really don't know.
Hey, if you're listening already, you're streaming it tomorrow. So hit Langley up. He's going to send you $50 cash.
Yeah, right. Episode 59 of the Pit Chatter Podcast. Let me make sure we're live and people can hear us here. Yep, we are live. Yep, they can hear us. So, I ain't got nothing pulled up in the chat here yet. Here, it's there. I just haven't pulled it up yet. But anyways, episode 59 of the Pit Chatter Podcast. Lord, no, who would have ever thought we'd have made it to episode 59?
Not me.
I mean,
I figured we would have got canceled or shut down by somebody. I don't know.
well, here we are. Here we are again, looking stupid.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm going back to last week's episode. We're just sitting here looking stupid. So.
Don't get me started on that. Whatever that was.
Listen, you have not made it in any of this until you have haters. Okay,
just until people get confused about the topic we're talking about and just start spouting
that or whatever. All right, got a lot to talk about. Well, not comparatively to other episodes, but got a lot to talk about tonight. Of course, it was a wet weekend. We got practice in at Ararat Friday night, so that was good. I'm going to go back over these topics here in just a second. Noah actually went to a racetrack this weekend. I know half of you people just passed out and left us. But Car Store had them wreck them up derby down there at Ace. And somehow beat the weather with both of their divisions, the late models and the pro late models. Of course, the Legends cars, they didn't get their race in, but everybody else did. Had some little bit of controversy in the Car Store race. We'll talk about that. Bowman Gray washed out. Ararat opener this weekend. If I get to, I need to get to feeling better, man. I've been sick, and I got a bunch of obstacles in my way, things I need to get done. So hopefully we'll get all that done. But got a bunch of people jumping over in the chat. Jesus. Anyways, so also at about 8:15 or so, we're going to have Drew Bond, the most recent limited late model winner at Franklin County Raceway on Speedway Lane. He's gonna join us. He's going to join us for about 5 to 7 minutes just to talk about his racing this year and his win and all those good things. So we'll have that. Need to get a little more. Need to get a few more guests in here from week to week, Noah.
Yeah, need to get some people. That's on you though. You're the booking agent.
Yeah, well, the booking agent has too many freaking jobs. Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah, leave me in charge. I'll get some people on.
That's the part I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of who they might be and what they might say.
It'll start off as racing people, but then it'll just spiral out of control.
I can imagine. You did you tell me you weren't working tomorrow?
I'm not. I'm going to see Metallica, brother.
I figured that's what you were doing. Well, yeah. Let me ask you. I mean, you probably don't even know. Somebody else probably bought you tickets. What was the ticket to that thing cost?
You son of a bitch. I paid for them. Now, I paid the day they came up. I think it was about $115 a ticket. Now, I looked just a few hours ago on SeatGeek.
Yeah.
And tickets in my same area are now selling for $500 a piece.
So why ain't you selling your ticket and just staying at home?
It's Metallica, dude.
I mean,
it's my favorite band of all time. It'd be the second time I've seen them, and they're getting old. They're getting up there, so who knows? This might be the last chance I get.
I understand. Listen, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that Chris Shepard, he's back on again this week. Apparently, he's not making the Lord's chicken, but he is on you. Okay, he said I was directly talking about you looking stupid. So
you ban this guy. Just kick him out.
Listen, we don't want to ban nobody. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. So,
Couldn't let us get 5 minutes in. Here we go.
all right, here we go. Here we go. Kevin Litton's trying to get his $500. He said, "Hey Noah, since I beat Kent into the podcast tonight, do I still get the $500 since y'all rained out and I didn't get a chance to make the race?"
Nope, that don't count.
So I mean, here's all I want to know: is he still eligible for $500 bonus
I don't
this
know.
next race? You wavering?
I think that was his one chance, you know.
Oh my god!
Hey, I
That's
will
his one
say our spectator drag is gonna carry over to the next one.
All right. What? How much was that? $50, $75, $100? What was that? I
I
don't even
think
remember.
we're up to 100,
Yeah.
75 or 100, somewhere there. But that's carrying over.
Now that's for somebody to win, or is that for the best wreck during spectator drags?
Whichever comes first.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see then, I guess.
But I don't really
Uh,
feel like paying Trey for wrecking his another Acura. So
you make a good point. You make a good point. I mean, but I don't know if he would expect to get paid. He wrecks them for
he
free.
does it
So
for free. I tell you what, those JDM guys, they would crap a brick if they knew how many Acuras he has totaled down there.
yeah, they would. They would. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Anyways, this episode number 59 of the Pit Chatter podcast presented by Yoder's Custom Meat Processing, and you know what they say at Yoder's.
Can't beat that meat.
Well, the weather did though. The weather beat that meat last weekend.
It beat it up and down the court, man.
It did. That's for
I
sure.
don't know what's going to happen for Mother's Day now. A lucky mother didn't get to go home with some of Yoder's meat.
True.
I know he was looking forward to that. I don't. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll find a way to get Lauren's meat to a single mother, one way or another.
Yeah. All right. Man, I tell you what. Speaking of weather, Friday at Ararat, we decided we were having practice on Friday, mainly because I could get more of my staff there on Friday. Wasn't really sure how it would be car count wise and all that. Turned out okay. I had a decent, not as big as the first practice, but decent. But I think it might have been as big as the first practice if it hadn't been raining. It was raining all around us. Kim went down to Mount Airy during one point of the day, and it was sprinkling there on us. And she gets back and she goes, "Man, y'all didn't get that weather?" I said, "Yeah, it sprinkled a little bit." She said, "No, it was like a monsoon down the road." And Mount Airy's like 8 miles up the road, 9 miles up the road, or whatever. And it was everywhere around us too. It was just crazy.
Y'all got lucky.
We did. We dodged that one, which was earlier in the day, which that was the main one we were worried about, and then there was a secondary one we were worried about 5:45, and the clouds just split. I mean, I watched them go over and just split us.
I'll tell you what, you done got you another lucky spot like old Callaway,
Yeah,
where it just misses
yeah.
half the time.
Well, that's good and bad. That's good for getting the event in. That's not necessarily good for being profitable or breaking even or anything of that nature. So
Yeah, scares everybody off.
it does. I had a bunch of racers tell me, "Man, I would have been there if it wasn't raining, where we were." So
What we gonna do, man? Y'all quit being a bunch of pansies and just come down.
yeah, well, I'm sure that it'll take time. The Franklin County racers had a lot of time to learn. That when they were calling for weather, I would make you a decision, ahead of time if it was going to rain, and if not, it probably wasn't going to rain, or if it was, we was going to ride it out anyways. And of course, we can't do a whole lot of that there. And I tell you, speaking of that, so my first practice, I got a lot of good experience on preparing the racetrack because it was hot and dry that week. Um, well, this week it was last week it was not hot and dry. It was weather in and out all week, I guess, and that weather that we were waiting on Friday, we kind of sat around a little too long and decided we were going to we were going to wait on Mother Nature to give us a little bit of water instead of us bringing the water truck out. Well, that was a bad decision. Got us a little behind. Made for the track being a little dusty during practice. But the track was really good. I mean, it really was. It was it was a little drier, but it just kept getting faster. We had a lot of moisture in the ground from the rain and from our prep, and it really just kept coming back up and made the lap times just kept getting quicker as the night went on.
That picture you sent me, them late models look like they was ripping it, man.
they were, and I talked to Dylan Watson, who's the former champion there, defending champion from 2021. And I talking to him afterwards. He wasn't at practice. He was at Travelers Rest Speedway racing, and he told me, he said, "Man, I didn't even know that lane up there existed that they were running on." But I mean, they were up there. Andrew Langford, he done tore half the spoiler off, beating it against the walls up there. So it was good.
Hey, that's what you want. The whole racetrack is open for business.
Yeah, it definitely was. If you look at that photo, you can tell how wide the track had got over the course of that time. You can just see the groove on there if you follow what I mean. But it was good. It was good. I mean, it it was a little drier than the first practice, but you know, that was probably more like what it'll be in the middle of the summer when we're not able to get as much water into the ground as we really need.
Yeah.
So. Well, speaking of going to racetracks and the rain, following you around, you had a little case of that this past weekend. You actually went to a racetrack. Lauren Yoder said that this will be your only trip to a racetrack, outside of Franklin County all year. So we got that out of the way and over with. But you headed up to Shenandoah. What was that like?
Man, I knew it was nice from the pictures I seen. I knew it was,
Yeah.
You get the cool view of the mountains and stuff. I knew all that. But dude, it's on a whole nother level once you get there. You're like, holy hell. I mean, the racetrack, the facilities are super nice. That view is just absolutely beautiful
The
with the
scenic view
mountain
is
range
unreal.
just right there, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was awesome. I mean, your stock four car count wasn't great, but the legends, I don't even know where all these guys came from. They had a ton of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen a video of them. I don't know how many they had. I never looked at the scoring or anything, or whether they were on Race Monitor. I don't even know. But man, it looked like they had one hell of a field of Legends cars for sure.
Oh, they did.
And the IndyCar field was pretty good, man.
Yeah, what? And that, you know what? I was thinking about you when I was watching that one.
Yeah.
Because that's what you've been saying. That was the IndyCar field you've been looking for.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single damn fast car on that track. They were all hunks of junk, old Buicks, and they were getting it too. I think 3 of them blew a right front. They didn't give a damn. They just kept running it. But that's kind of Indy cars you want to. They was driving straight junk out there.
Yeah. Will Smith, father of Gary Smith, chiming in, said 16 Legends cars at Shenandoah. I knew it was a good field.
That's it.
It looked strong.
It felt like
I thought it looked like more than that in the video for sure. So, for sure.
Either way, it was. I mean, they were putting on a hell of a race. If old Silvestri hadn't put a whooping on everybody, it would have been a good finish too. But he had quite the gap on second place. So.
Yeah.
But other than him, there was really good battles. I was mostly watching Gary while he was racing Legends, and him and the number 2, I don't know who it was, but he ran side by side with that guy for probably 15 laps.
Yeah. The 2, who is that? Is that man, I don't even know.
It wasn't the little, I don't know what they're called. I think yeah, it's white, and I think the number was like yellow or something. It wasn't like the coupe version. It was like the van body looking one.
I got you. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, but they put on a pretty good. The Legends cars up there are a pretty good show typically. I know they've been trying to get all dialed in up there. Chris Lilly's doing a great job with the place, and just going to take him time to build that stock 4 division. I believe it's probably a good thing that y'all rained out at Franklin County so they could have at least 2 of those 3 there. Gary would have been up there racing by himself.
I mean, hell, the way them Legends look, man, it looked like he turned that place into Daytona for Legends cars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
But I don't know what it is about them tracks or that track. I have never seen a Cavalier nosedive on the right front so hard in my
yeah,
life. Those things
yeah.
just plant.
Now, when you say that, are you talking about the stock fours? Are you talking about some of the IndyCar guys? Or
I'm talking about stock, well, any cars too, but they're stock cars, no camber. Well, I'm assuming no camber and stuff, considering they were blowing out tires. But
yeah, yeah,
I'm talking
I
about
got
the stock fours, which was all Cavaliers or Sunfires too, same thing. But
you.
they
Right,
were nose diving hard. So that
I got
track really does it forces you to you have to hit your marks every time. If you don't hit your mark through the turn, there's not a lot of momentum.
you. Yeah,
So you're going to lose a spot for sure.
gotcha, gotcha. Well, let's pull up our guest here. Got Drew Bond, the most recent winner in the limited sports and limited late model, whatever they're calling it this year at Franklin County Raceway on Speedway Lane. Um,
Yeah,
that's my little side joke there, Drew. But
I hear
appreciate
you.
you coming on the show, man.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, let's go straight to the point, man. That last race at Franklin County, you you were right in the thick of things and made it a show in that limited race. Take us through that race, man.
Well, I know Kyle's getting tired of hearing about this,
I'm sure he
but
is. He probably is not watching tonight. So
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I was on the long run. He could just eat me alive. I was just building free, and we had the caution, the first caution come out, and I knew that the car was kind of coming to me, and it was going away from him, and and then that second restart came, and I was kind of eating him up in the center of the corner, and I guess eventually I got into him one time off two, and I let him gather it back up, and from there it kind of you saw it ended, so I was pretty happy with it.
I can imagine you were. I mean that's a shining moment, man. I know Kyle is tired hearing about it, but beating Kyle Dudley at Franklin County or for that matter Motor Mile, just
Yeah,
about anywhere is an accomplishment.
yeah. I think I've raced that dude. Well, besides Franklin County, well anywhere I've raced him, Motor Mile, South Boston, Franklin County, he's always going to be the one of the guys to beat. And Franklin County, he's probably the guy to beat.
Oh,
So
without a doubt.
and then beating just even remotely, even being close to slash beating that caliber of a driver, it just it helps me and reassures me that I belong. I'm not just wasting money.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So and it's nothing to disrespect him. He's by far probably the best I've ever raced. So it's just it feels good to be the underdog and come out on top. At least once.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, you've been working hard this year, not only to put a car on the track, but to find sponsorship and the things you need to go racing. Tell us, what goes into running that division. What does it cost you, and tell us a little bit of those details.
So it's like y'all know it's $12 a gallon for gas, and you'll probably buy 10 to 15 gallons a race or a race weekend. So there's what a couple $100 right there, and then so tires. We do the buy four first race, and then we waited two races. So then this past weekend we would have bought two, which is around $400. So a whole set's probably about 850, something like that,
Yeah,
just off the top of my head. But I know that some people, I mean, obviously our car count's not great, so the payout's not going to be great.
yeah,
But some people are just like hesitant on coming out to race when the payout's not great, but you can't really get it up when you don't have cars.
right,
You're not going, finish last and be fifth at the same time and get paid $200. Like it's not going to work like that.
right, right.
So, I mean, hell, I was running at Motor Mile, and got paid like 80 some bucks from finishing dead last and had a rear clip taken off, and I was 5,500 down the hole. So
Right.
it's not like you could be at a loss of profit at any time. So
Well, more than likely at every time.
yeah, I mean,
I was getting ready to say, when the hell are you making money? Because I know sure as hell we won.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's we're here to do it because we love it. We're not here to make money at it. It's just if you love it enough, you're gonna do it no matter what the money is. So
Sure.
I mean, it's just like it's just somewhere to race. It's you got my cat standing right behind me, but yeah, I mean, I just I hope people can realize it's somewhere to race, and it's probably the cheapest racing I've done. Because
Yeah.
we ain't tearing stuff up every week. People drive like they got some sense, and it's just you know, I can hope that in the future we'll get some more people coming and kind of build this thing up and get the payouts to where they probably need to be. But you
Right.
can't do that till people show up.
Yeah, it all takes time. It's a catch-22, man. You
Yeah,
gotta have cars to be able to make a payout, and you gotta have a payout to be able to get cars. And
yeah. And to answer your question about like expenses and everything, um, just to keep it simple, it's damn expensive.
yeah,
So I mean,
for
it's
sure.
not cheap, and if I didn't have the sponsors I did, it'd be tough for me because I work 40 hours. I don't make a killing,
Yeah,
so that sponsorship helps to get that initial start going, and then whatever you win from the last race is what goes into it the next week. So
yeah.
it's kind of just it like I said, you can't expect to make no money, but you're just putting what you can back into it.
Right, right. What do you do for a living?
I do HVAC. I work for Southern Air Incorporated. They're not paying me to say that, but they
They should be. They should be
yeah,
sponsored.
no kidding. I would love to ask a sponsorship for them. Shout out to Southern Air, but yeah, it's yeah, I do commercial heating and air.
Gotcha, gotcha.
So
Okay.
I
Yeah,
love
I'd always wondered. I didn't know.
yeah, it's I'd love to do my own thing. It's just it takes a lot, yeah, as you know, to open your own business and stuff. So it's initial startup is pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, so we're just being clear here. You're not just some rich kid who sits on his couch all week and works on his race car every now and then, right?
I ain't got no daddy, no, I ain't got them to pay for my stuff, dude. I'm working on my own car. It's majority of the time just me, and then when Matt gets off work and it's something setup wise, and he needs to come, or
Yeah,
we're tearing a motor or rear end out, Matt will come. And then Seth is normally pretty on top of things with just coming to help me whenever he can. So just to have extra hands, um, and yeah, so whenever we tear something up, set up anything, it's us. It ain't nobody. We ain't paying nobody. Um, if I was doing that, I'd probably hang it up. I'd love to have that though, but yeah, nah, it ain't for me.
yeah. No, I understand. I say that because everybody thinks that when you got a young guy who's racing the car, it's always daddy's money, daddy and mommy's money. That's all it is, all the
You'd yeah, you should see the hole in my pocketbook. It's it's a big one. So but yeah. Hey Noah, you got an extra beer?
Yeah, sure. I'll just mail it to you.
Yeah, hand it out
It'll
to
be
me, buddy.
here in a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you mean those things aren't Pepsis that he's drinking? What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Is this 21 over?
They're
Yeah.
generic. They're generic, nameless beers until we get paid from them.
Yeah, yeah.
Guy told me he was going to a concert tomorrow. He figured he was drinking tonight. That's what he told
yeah,
me.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, well, I will say this. It's, you know, I'm not like I said, I do pay for all my stuff, but I will give credit to my grandpa, because he has stepped in, like, back at Motor Mile. I had a really unlucky season, probably the worst of my career.
Yep.
And I think I didn't knock him off. Someone else knocked him off.
Yeah.
I had like 3 clips that season, and it was like, I know for a clip, I'm not going to say who it's, who's my chassis builder, but that is not. You got to take a loan out, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Papaw stepped up and he paid for a
Yeah.
good amount, not all of it, but he paid for it almost half, if not half. So I mean, that's pretty more or less to say my sponsorship was gone 3 or 4 races into the season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
It's
were
tough.
just
Man.
yeah, we were just
It's
doing that
always
'cause
good to have somebody to help you, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's always been more than willing to step up and help when I need it. If I don't need it, he ain't gonna fork it out.
Right.
But
Right. I got
um, it definitely takes quite a bit.
yeah. Got a question coming to you from the chat here. Matt Cheatham, he wants to know: do you plan on running the big 200 lapper limited at South Boston? I believe at the end of June.
So to put it nicely, no. Um, I went up there uh last year and raced two races and um was leading one of them, led the first lap and got put in the fence the second lap, and it cost me $5,500.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna tear a car up, it's gonna be at home.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
how
No.
the turntables. I ain't gonna say no names.
Gosh.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, South
I highly
Boston's a
doubt
tough place, man.
it is. It's a tough place, but it's a it's a place where you're like Kyle Dudley says, it's like you're playing roulette on if you're gonna get a clip knocked off or not.
Yeah. It's very unforgiving.
Yeah. And but I love the track. Track's badass. It's
Yeah.
you're getting it and you're not ever taking a break. It's just like Franklin County, but out of the three tracks I've driven, Franklin County is the most fun I've had.
Yeah.
It's just the Motor Miles, that's a technical racetrack. You got to be hitting your marks, hit the line every single time. South Boston, you can send it in however hard you want to, get on it about a half a second to a second later, just flat matting it. Franklin County, you're just balls to the wall. So
Yeah.
basically sums it up for you for the racetracks around here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you're dead on. Your description there is pretty spot on. So,
Yeah.
are you planning on doing anything outside of the schedule there at Franklin County this year?
No, I'm not. Just because I ain't got the money, you know.
Right.
I'm still running a 603 crate motor. Who knows of a 603 crate motor anymore? Besides Richard Caldwell, I know he runs one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still run a 603, and from if I try to do anything else, really, like North Carolina tracks in North Carolina and everything, you're pretty much running late model, and I don't
Yeah.
think a little 603 is going to handle that.
Well, not at most racetracks. Not. I mean, in Franklin County, you can be competitive
Yeah,
if the rules are competitive, but most racetracks are not that way. So
yeah, yeah. If it's a like a rough, kind of, it's it's not enough to really matter with the motor for Franklin County. Like it's really all driver, not equipment,
you're right.
and you really got to know how to get around that place to be fast.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
See, you
yeah.
hear that? So stop saying I only won because of my control arm, you ass. I won because I'm a driver, damn it.
Yeah.
um,
Ain't said nobody ever. Okay.
I did
yeah,
just now.
for
Don't
the
at me.
for the modified race, I'm trying to get management to get a couple race cars down there, like weekly race cars, and just to have set out because it's going to be a big race. It's going to draw
Oh,
fans. So I'd love to have like I offered to bring my car out. I'd love to just have people come up because you want them back.
oh yeah.
For payouts to get higher, get car
Yep.
counts higher. You got to bring everybody back. So with what little we can do to try to get them back is really important. Um, so hopefully that'll work out, and we'll have a car down there at the modified race.
Yeah. Good deal. I think it'll be good. I mean, anytime you get a chance to promote the local races when the big show's in town, it's a good thing.
Yeah, yep.
Tell us a little bit about your sponsors.
So I got D Lynch Towing, Danny Lynch. He is I just so basically when I work with sponsors, if I'm working, I get off work before race season. I just call people, and I called Danny Lynch, and I googled him. I said tow tow companies in Franklin County, Virginia, and he popped up. I called him, and he was more than willing to help me out with what I was doing. and so he's one of them. Asphalt Effects, same way. You know, I called John up, and he hooked me up right then. This is his second year helping me out.
Yeah.
You know, Hairworks, which is my mom. You know, they
Yeah.
you know, it's not the biggest sponsorship ever, but you know,
Right.
it's they do what they can to help me out. And we got Navlin again. They're in Salem. They're a furniture decor store. They You take your furniture in, and they assess the value. They can even sell it for you, and then you know you get part of the money. They get part of the money. And then Cavalier Automotive, which is I could probably throw a baseball and hit their garage from my house.
Yeah.
So they're just longtime supporters of me.
Yeah.
So it's they'll hook you up if you say your car needs working on. Just say Drew Bond sent you. They'll hook you right up.
Right. Right. Good deal.
So,
I tell you, man, I think it's rare to hear a guy talk about cold calling
mhm,
sponsors
mhm.
because that don't happen very often anymore.
That's a skill of its own that people don't
It
talk about.
is.
Dude, yeah,
You gotta be like a charismatic guy to cold call somebody and get some money out of.
you got to have some fuzz on your peaches because it is the one of the
But-
most nerve wracking things I've ever done in my life. You know,
yeah.
racing ain't nothing compared to asking for money from somebody.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I kind of feel like I'm standing on the side of the road with a cardboard thing, just saying I need help.
We'll race for food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No kidding. That's what it feels like, and it's just like it's almost like shameful to me. But you know, you're doing it, out of the goodness of your heart, and you're not coming from like a malicious standpoint. It's like, hey, I'm doing this. I want to promote you, but help me as much as you can.
Right, right.
You know.
Well, and I think you're doing a good job of promoting your sponsors. I mean, you started your YouTube page, and that
Yeah,
thing seems to be doing good. I think the last race really helped with that.
yeah. I mean, well, this is big for me because I don't have much on social media, but it's like up to 215 views, which I know Huffman's like 40,000,
Listen, he
40,000
started the
views.
same place you did.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I'm looking to get there, and I'm hoping that some people who have of interest have decent sized businesses can see that we're trying to promote people, but promote ourselves at the same time.
Yeah, you'll get there. Just keep working at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you one piece of advice though on your videos.
What's that?
Just pretend like you've been doing it forever.
True.
That's all you got to do. Just
True.
pretend like you've been doing it forever. I can tell, when you're nervous. I can
Yeah.
see it. Just pretend like you've been doing it forever. Pretend like you're landing up. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
Hey, what we're doing, boys.
I mean, dude, because I'm not. If you know me, I'm not the type of person that is gonna be willing to talk in front of a camera and look at it, because I
Right,
feel like that camera is just staring right back at me, judging the hell out
right.
of me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So it's like that camera is one of the most intimidating things I've ever done, and it's I'm kind of a what do you call it, introvert.
Yeah.
And this is really stepping out of my comfort zone. So that's
Right.
going to take some getting used to.
You'll get there
So
though. I'm telling you. Just
yeah,
pretend. Hey,
yeah,
make it till you make it, bud.
yeah. I mean that's true. So
You're well
well,
on your way. Yeah, I'm telling you.
well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
So. All right, Noah. You got anything else for Drew here?
I think
You want
we
to
just
ask him
about
if he
covered
can
it
help you
all.
with your low control arm or anything?
All right, I got to make Josh Phillips happy. What do you think about Wesley Givens?
Jesus.
No, I'm just kidding.
Drew's over here like, I don't even know who that is.
I know, Wes.
Never heard of her.
Hey, I was
It
at
would have been much funnier if you'd have said, "Yeah, I don't know who that is."
I was at Natural Bridge when him and Gary were running.
Okay.
I was drunker than a skunk, but I was still there.
Yeah.
Look, now Josh is actually bad because he was talking
You,
about it.
you up there flirting? You up there trying to flirt with the dirt or what?
Me?
Yeah.
Seth, his boss was running. He runs I think 604s, and we went up there to watch him, and I was just hammered drunk and didn't really know what was going on, and
That's the
but
best way
yeah,
to watch the race.
I mean, it never gets to happen for me, so I was just enjoying myself, man. But yeah, we was watching Seth's boss, and it just so happened I saw Gary there and Wes, and I think I saw a car with like Ricky Gillespie's font. I don't know who that was.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was William Daughtry. William Daughtry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw that one, and But yeah, so I saw a few people I knew, and then of course pulling for Jeff. And
Yeah.
It's a running joke. Noah's got Wesley in his mouth. So.
I figured. I figured.
Oh man. Anyways, Lord have mercy. All right. Well, we'll let you get out of here, man. We appreciate you joining us on the podcast tonight. Hey, keep up that YouTube page. We'll be watching, and so will
Hey,
everybody
thank
else.
y'all.
All
I
right, buddy.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
All
Why
right.
am I
Noah.
so big?
That's a bit much right there. Okay. Hold on. I'm producer extraordinaire over here. I'm trying to learn how to.
Oh, you get to be on the left side.
I mean, I'll move us. Hold on. Whoops.
There we go.
There we go.
Where we belong.
Jesus, oh man, really appreciate Drew joining us there. Good to talk to him, man. He's better in front of a camera than he believes.
I was getting ready to say, for somebody that says he's not good in front of a camera, he gets nervous.
He's much better. I mean, he was great.
I mean,
right
he
there.
handled that whole thing like a pro. I mean, good God, Jaden's done 800 interviews. You talk to him, and he acts like he's never seen a microphone before.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Poor Jaden. He's a little. Jaden's.
He's getting better. I'll give it to him. He's getting better.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I'm assuming that he's talking to you. So Chris Shepard said that cap ain't hiding your big forehead. So
Look, I think I have a pretty. Look, that's a 3-head right there. Ain't even a 4-head.
Oh Lord, Jesus. All right, let's not get carried away over here too much. We rounded up Shenandoah, right? Yep. Cars tour, man. I was talking to you. You were coming down the road. Shenandoah done rained out. I was watching the Cars tour. You ditched me so you could go watch it. They didn't wreck near as much after you got on there watching. I wish you'd have just stayed on the phone because they were wrecking them up good.
Well, like I told you, I think somebody needs to go to the Cars Tour race, every single race, and just tell them, hey, it's about to rain. And then they'll drive us some balls.
I mean,
Because I think that's the only reason that race was as good as it was.
Ace is one of those tracks where they really get after it too, though. I think it was just a combination of those two things, Great racetrack for that scenario to play out, and they always put on a good show there. Landon Lewis picked up the victory there. I think that there's one controversy in the car store that very few people are talking about that they need to be talking about, and that is the series owners own cars in the series, and their cars keep winning
Or dominating, yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from Landon Lewis or Connor Hall, because Connor Hall is an extreme talent, driving, for Junior Motorsports. But them winning is not a good thing. That does not look good. That does not make the competitors feel good. And one thing that made that even worse was during that race, they had a caution where not Carson Quapple, Caden Quapple came to a stop right above to where to turn in to go to the pits, and that's supposed to be a 2-lap penalty. Of course, they defended that by saying that Dale Jr. said that the team there, at the track working for the Cars Tour says that the caution was already coming out before he stopped. I mean, but are you the caution? If you're the caution, well then you're a 2-lap penalty for stopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, it also doesn't help that I've learned from you, and then, I started looking into it. Obviously, Kevin Harvick's whole team is known for cheating like hell.
No, they would never cheat.
And even
if they was there this weekend, so that's why they was cheating even more.
It was kind of, even if they passed tech, even if they really were legal, there's still going to be conversations that people were like, did he really pass tech, or is it favoritism?
Right. Yep. Gary Smith chiming in said, didn't the 81, that's Minnie Tyrell, didn't he win at Wake County? Yes, he did. And he had some good runs, and he's had some bad luck the last couple of races. And I'm not saying that they're doing anything for him. It is not what you do. It is the appearance of what you're doing.
Yeah.
That matters more than anything. It's not necessarily that that it's actually happening, but it looks like it's happening. It looks like they're allowing them to do things. It looks like they're not penalizing them when they would penalize somebody else. So the next time somebody stops on the racetrack, if they throw the caution, 2 milliseconds before they actually come to a stop, so they don't go to the rear. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So
There's no good way to get out of that either. Like I said, even if that car was completely legal, everything was fine, there's still going to be people there like, well, what about that? What about that? It's kind of weird that there's always going to be people talking.
yeah, when you run a track or a series or whatever, anytime you own a car, it's a problem. Trust me.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. I've lived through that one. You know what I mean? And it is. It's a problem. And hopefully they'll figure it out sooner rather than later, because I think more people were taking notice of that. This past weekend, I seen, one of the guys who spots for one of the teams that runs part time. I seen him make that same exact, thing on Facebook about, not penalizing, one of the series owners' teams. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if it
I
appears
can't
to be
say
a
I
problem,
blame
it
them.
is. Yeah.
I'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time harping on that, but it is, it isn't a good thing for the series for sure. No Bowman Gray this past weekend, so no crackhead craziness to talk about tonight.
I don't know. I'm sad. I was thinking about going there on Saturday, but
Yeah,
got rained out.
yeah. Well, before they decided to rain out, you decided to drive to Shenandoah, so
Well, I didn't know Timmy was going. I found out he was going, so I'd hitch a ride.
well, you were hitching a ride no matter what, because you ain't driving nowhere.
I was thinking about driving to Bowman Gray.
Yeah,
Just because it's such a, it's Bowman Gray, man. I've never been. I got to go at least once.
right, right. I mean, Bowman Gray's entertaining for sure, no doubt about it, no doubt about it. On tap this weekend. No, well, Shenandoah races again this weekend, right? I was about to
Yeah.
say no, asphalt for local guys. Shenandoah's racing, Natural Bridge races, With races. I think Princeton runs Friday night, Beckley Saturday night. South Boston, they should be back racing this week, I believe. Not 100% on that one, but anyways, a bunch of races going on. Ararat, Bullring should be getting the opener this weekend. Looks like the weather's going to play out for us. If I can just dodge all the rest of the obstacles I got in my way here, plus being sick and not being able to be there as much as I'd like. Went down there yesterday, a few hours, and said, man, that was enough, and had to come home, and went down today and spent a few hours. And we're getting there. Got a little bit of water on the track today, just what was left in the water truck, and spent some time filling up all the equipment. Man, that's one big departure from asphalt. You got all this diesel you gotta buy for all this equipment here. So hopefully it'll be good this weekend, though.
You might as well go ahead and get you a pump and a tank installed down there.
Well, there's a tank there and there's a pump there, but it's old. It's like an old race fuel, pump, and it ain't working exactly right. So I don't want to just push a bunch in there, and then have to get a different pump and pump it out or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll know though. Let's see. I wanted to go back into the comments here. One question to come up for you, Noah. John Campbell wanted to know, is last weekend's race going to be made up?
I'm not sure. I think Timmy was talking about they had some rain dates built in, but I'm not 100% sure which ones that were. So I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make any promises that I can't keep. So.
Right. Matt Cheatham chiming in. Yes, South Boston is racing twin 75s for late model stock cars. Yep. So I figured this was one of their weeks. Since Frank Legani wasn't racing, that's typically how the schedule has played out there. John Campbell wanting to know if I'm hoping for a sellout crowd. I don't even know what a sellout crowd would be. I don't know how many people it'll hold. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm hoping for as many people as possible. We'll see what happens. I got no way of knowing exactly what that'll entail, and we'll see. Should be a good weekend for sure. Got my buddy Mike Diaz. He's over here in my notifications, flapping his jaws, trying to distract. Not really working because I set myself up a little better this week. But he races this week down at Southern National. I think they got the Mother's Day Blast or whatever it is. So be sure to check Southern National out. No late models because they don't have any. But I love to
They
give
got
him.
some on iRacing, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, yeah. I like giving him a hard time, man. Diaz is fun guy to give a hard time to. So I don't think he's actually on here watching. I think he's just in my notifications because he knows it's between 8 and 9 p.m. Brandon Clements jumping in. Hope you have a great turnout. Appreciate it, man. Can't wait to get you up here with that Pro 4. Should be fun. I don't know what this is about. Apparently, Kevin Litton is back. I don't know if he just ran into a car going down the street or what. Had
He
to
probably
leave us.
did.
He didn't get to run into Jaden this past weekend. He was very disappointed about that. Josh Phillips, are you going live for your first race, Langley? Probably not. I'm not really all that into streaming. I don't know. I don't know that it deters fans. I'm not one of those guys, but I am one of those people who just it is not at the top of my list of priorities. So not real worried about that. So oh my God, here's Kent. He's coming for you. He knows you got all the details. Kent Grizzly wants to know any Outlaw 4 rules yet, Noah.
Yeah, so DOT only tires. Stock computers. No modifications of any kind allowed. That's about it. Oh, you got to put a muffler on your car. That too. We're integrating South Boston rules. Put a muffler on your car.
Yeah. So I mean, based on last week's conversation, and Timmy being on here, I don't think he's on here this week. He hadn't popped up in the comments, or I've missed him if he has. Sounds like Outlaw 4 is should be called Almost Outlaw because they're not really outlaw. They've got some rules this time, so we're getting more rules.
I don't even know if they posted anything or what, but
I think JC is the official outlaw spokesman. Kent Chrisley says he's out on the muffler, I think. So
yeah, well, I mean, I like JC, but I wouldn't listen to a damn word he says until it gets posted. Yeah. Until it's official on paper from somebody, from Timmy, from the website.
So far, he's been spot on. I don't know if he's got like a direct line. He might have like one of those Nextels. He just chirps at Timmy and asks him a question and then posts it on Facebook.
Yeah, chirps at me.
That's the only thing I can figure. So, Wilton Maxey wanting to know if it'll at least be on tape delay on YouTube. Provided I have somebody to video that. Maybe, I don't know. It's not at the top of my priority list. Got Pinto chiming in here. Said hello from Cape Lookout. So, Doc Love's in here. He's chiming about some cables still. I'm not sure what was going on here. Lord have mercy. That guy.
I don't know what he's talking about, but you better not forget.
I probably done forgot. I don't know. I ain't real sure about that. All right, so Metallica concert tomorrow. What are you gonna do this weekend?
I don't know. I'm going to a racetrack somewhere. I might go to a Rat's Ass. Air Rat. Natural Bridge. Somewhere. I'm going somewhere.
I don't have to make up a shirt that says that has a picture of a rat's ass. I mean, I don't know.
That'd be a good shirt. I'd wear it.
Oh Lord, here we go. Chris Shepard, who is, I mean, he's all over the place in the comments here. Okay, I mean, he's just got all kinds of stuff going on. He wants to know, when does Gary get his own episode? Gary has been on the show. Well, not his own episode, I guess, but he's been on the show already last year during our live at Logan's Roadhouse. The place just closed down. They made it.
R.I.P.
They made it a
Logan.
year. They made it a year without us being there. We didn't come back, and well, neither did they. So
We were holding the place together. What can I say?
apparently. Um, Doc said that you better show up at Ararat. No, he's putting you on there. Putting you on blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Josh Phillips said Keith Jones was wondering, are you going to have dirt drag so him and Rebecca Phillips can bring their Chargers to race on dirt? Yes, May 24th. Street car drags on dirt. So, Chris Shepard said, for what, 5 seconds, asking about Gary. No, Gary was actually on there for, I don't know, 10 minutes.
All right, can we ban
I
him
mean,
now?
we're getting ready to, okay?
Hey, try saying something
There you
nice
go.
for once. Like, hey, good show,
Christina
guys.
Maggard said that Chris Shepard is Gary's biggest fan.
Sounds like it.
Sponsor of the show here, Lauren Yoder. Yoder's Custom Meat Processing. He said he just tuned in. He must have been slinging meat, so he wasn't able to join us for the first 50 minutes.
He was trying to get his meat to a single mother.
he wants to know, did I miss anything? Lord have mercy. Every conversation.
Only the whole show.
Yeah,
That's about
I mean,
it.
we had Drew Bond on. You missed that. He talked to us for about 20 minutes about his season. You know, bunch of stuff. Talked a little bit about everything. So, listen, here is the number one guy from the first Outlaw race, Kevin Nicely.
Made lots of friends in that outlaw race.
Lord. Kevin Linton wants you in the field. He said Noah steal, even though he didn't spell steal right. Steal the 20 car and run the next Outlaw for us.
God. Lord have mercy. Why would I do that?
I don't really know. Not really sure here. So, Kimberly, my wife, she says trying for a powder puff race at Ararat, Rat's Ass as you call it, whatever. So,
Rat's Ass Speedway.
Doc Love's trying to get some money here. He said Yoder meats, you might beat our prices, but you can't beat our meat. I mean,
can't beat that meat. Many have tried, many have failed.
Oh man. Christina Maggard said, tell them, Kevin, and nicely, get out of your way. He told them, for sure. For sure. Good. Hey, listen, that is how you learn. That is how you learn the most in a race car, is to get into it. Rough people up. I mean, that's how you're going to learn.
Sucks for the other guy. But
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he took out your favorite all-time race car.
I mean, it's true.
You know, it happens.
It happens. Yeah. What are you gonna do, man?
I mean, you know, you learn the most when Will Stevens ripped your.
Don't talk about that bum, okay?
Oh Lord, I don't even know what part of the conversation this came from. I think he's not holding a grudge against you for adding mufflers. I'm not sure. So.
Definitely the lamest rule I've ever heard straight from South Boston.
Christina Maggard said West can't win them all. Well, so far, I mean, you got wrecked out of one, has won all the rest of them everywhere, not just there. So, Doc Love chiming in said, "I'm looking forward to hearing Mr. Bo Miller call the races this coming Saturday night." Yep, that's our announcer for Ararat, Bo Miller. Good dude, perfect fit for, you know, I've told you a couple times on here, you know, I was looking for a particular person, sound, feel, vibe. that's the guy. So hopefully he lives up to the hype, and we'll be good to go. So Chris Shepard said, "How's the roads?"
It's
It's all,
snowing. What do you mean?
he's off. He's off. I don't really know. I don't really know. Josh Brown talking about Kevin Nicely. He said he kept West from winning, so that's a win. I mean, I'm with you there. Oh man. Listen, 2 out of like the 10 work. Okay, so Christina Maggard said, "Better test those speakers, Langley." And the thing about it is, you can test them on an empty track all you want. They're going to sound really good, and then when place starts to fill up, they don't sound near as good. So it's a constant fight. Looks like y'all have ahead on that one. Noah, he's done froze up on me over here. I'm not sure what happened to him. His phone's glitching or something. I don't even know if he's going to be able to answer this question. But Noah, any idea how many cars will be at the track on the 23rd? Excited, can't wait. Nope, he's gone. I'll tell you how many cars will be there. 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere in that neighborhood of the modifieds. Other divisions, who knows? But that's for sure. Hopefully Noah will join us back here in just a minute to close out the show. I think the Pepsi's got him. He yeah. Christina Maggard said he had too many Pepsis. He fell out of the chair over there in the Hinchee Motorsports / Maggard insurance place there. So let's see. Josh Phillips in the comments said, "What was a win in itself was the 5 Outlaw 4 car had good brakes." Well, I mean that's good. That is good. Let's see what we got here. Noah's not on here, so maybe he'll join us back here in a minute. I'm not sure. I may have to bing bong and finish this one out myself here in a minute. I'm not real sure. Noah said, "Noah, stop by the shop and get a brisket to take Doc when you go down and watch Wes win at the bullpen this week." And it's funny you call it the bullpen because that's what we're going to call the staging area. Bo Miller, and my wife, she tries to take credit for it too. Hold on, let me get Noah back in here. Man, you
what the
left.
hell just happened?
I mean, you just froze up and left us. Somebody call you? That's probably what happened.
No, my cellular data cut off. I had to connect to Wi-Fi. I don't know what the hell. Somebody done hit a pole down here or something.
You probably didn't pay your bill. That's what I'm guessing.
Probably
You better
not.
tell Daddy Timmy to get that paid for you. Okay.
Hey, I pay my own bill. Thank you very much.
Listen, Lauren said, "Stop by the shop and get a brisket, steak Doc when you go down and watch Wes win at the bullpen this weekend." Okay. I mean, I don't know why Lauren's not coming himself. I mean,
I thought Wes was going to Natural Bridge.
Well, he is, but he's just trying.
He's going to win at 2 places at once. That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, he is trying to do the double this weekend. He's trying to go to Shenandoah and Natural Bridge. Speaking of his number one rival, the one that he's trying to keep out of victory lane at Natural Bridge, Austin Williams, he said, went and lost your co-host. He's back.
We're back.
Chris Shepard's taking credit. He said his bullying got to you.
You ain't seen bullying.
Christina Maggard said that is no longer the home of Hinchee Motorsports.
I think the home of Hinchee Motorsports is my closet now.
And John Campbell said, "Is he at the track during the podcast?" I guess, going back to the episode with Timmy, that seems about right. So
probably. Yeah. No, I'm at the if it ain't Hinchee Motorsports no more, it's the Maggard Insurance HQ.
That's I sort of called it that there a minute ago. So yeah, for sure. So anyways, about to run out of time here. Got about 30-40 seconds left here. So you're not doing anything this weekend. That's what we discovered. Is that what we discovered?
I'm going to a track. I don't know which one. One of them.
Oh, let me go back and pull this back up, okay, since you glitched out. Maybe your phone will glitch out again. Noah, any idea how many cars will be at the track on the 23rd? Excited, can't wait. John Campbell.
A lot, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say.
I said 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Somewhere between 0 and like 100.
You better start at 15 and 100,
Well, I can't guarantee that. I don't want to lie to the man.
I understand. So,
The pace car will be there. I can say that for sure.
yeah. And you will have a cooler full of Pepsis there. Guaranteed.
Straight.
Guaranteed.
See, I don't have to do much that night, so I get to just kind of hang out and have a good time.
I thought that's what you did every race.
I have been responsible this year. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. Here's this idiot, Josh Phillips. If Cabbage Patch Kids had leftover dolls, y'all too would be it. I got to get thrown in. His hair looks like Cabbage Patch doll, not mine. Okay, not mine.
Y'all was just mad because you can't grow luscious locks like his.
Listen, my hair won't grow out, but this far.
Look at that curl. That's a perfect one right there. That's a good one.
Yeah, makes all the ladies jealous because they want their hair to be just like, they want to look like 80s moms. So.
Dude, no kidding. Old ladies at church used to tell me all the time, they'd be like, I'd kill to have that hair. I'd be like, thanks, Grandma. Appreciate it.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, thanks to Drew Bond for joining us for episode number 59. Be sure, if you did not catch that, to go back and listen to everything Drew Bond had to say about his big win a couple of weeks back, and what it takes for him to run in the limited division. Wow. I gotta share this one. Misty throwing you under the bus. Joshua Phillips. She said, Joshua Phillips, are you sure you didn't mean garbage pail kids? And I might fit into that one. Okay.
This is just rude.
I mean, it's good stuff.
Our viewers are just starting to hurt my feelings. I might have to.
Chris Shepard wore you out, man. I mean, you're going to be at the mental hospital for depression and anxiety after that, man.
If he wants to see bullying, I'll show him some real bullying. Old school style.
All right. Episode 59 of the Pit Chatter Podcast in the books. Appreciate Drew Bond joining us. Appreciate Yoder's Custom Meat Processing for sponsoring us, and appreciate all you guys for listening.